Huge thanks to Camp America. We've already seen what great stuff they can do up on the big screen, but they are here today. They've got a stall. Make sure you go and visit them. They're there on the balcony at the end of pool number 1, directly opposite the diving pool. And of course, you're all here as part of the BUCS Championship, which means you're all students, which means at some point you're going to have to get a real job.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre here in the city of Sheffield for the 2019 Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships. We had a great evening last night. We've got another session coming up, 3 in fact today, which is going to conclude with the finals session right at the end of the day, beginning at 6 o'clock. But before that, of course, we have session number 2. That's going to get underway. Now, there are 2 streams for you. There is a men's pool stream and a women's pool stream. So be aware, if you want to watch the women's stream on YouTube, if you click in Speedo BUCS 2019, search for that and choose your pool. So this stream at the moment, I'm going to be on Ewan, is on the men's stream. Murray's going to be on the women's stream, so just make sure you're watching the right one in case there's a particular teammate, loved one you want to follow, okay? Now, session number 2 is going to get underway at approximately 9 AM, but before that, of course, it's just enough time to have a little message from our event partners.
I got so much support from Bright Network that without them, not sure I would have been able to get the job that I did.
It kind of broke down jobs and grad schemes and things available in a way that was really easy for me to understand and apply to.
It was a mixture of the website and obviously the commercial awareness updates I got via my email.
Really easy to navigate. There is like thousands of internships that you can just pick from on their pages.
So without Bright Network, I wouldn't even know the role existed.
Here we are. So we say thank you to our sponsors, Speedo, Bright Network and Camp America. This championship, in fact, making up just one of the 3 events in the Speedo and BUCS swimming series. You've got the short course, the long course and the team championship make up the entire series. Now again, my name's Ewan. You join me in the North Pool this morning, this afternoon and this evening. I'll be here all day. I hope you will be as well. And we'll be concentrating on the men's events. If you do have an event sheet in front of you and you're very well prepared, it's going to be the even numbered events, of course, that we're going to be running through on this stream. If you are looking to follow some of the women's events as well, I'm sure many of you are, that is going to be on a separate stream. Simply search on YouTube Speedo BUCS 2019 and there'll be 2 channels for you, the women's and the men's, clearly labelled. So the event gets underway again for session number 2, 9 AM. Stay with us, we're just a few minutes away.
In pool number 2, please welcome your referees, Graham Addison and Paula Durant. And the starters, Rhiannon Edwards and Victor Clara. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guest today, the Swim England South East Regional President, Terry Norris. Officials, you may be seated.
So as you can see on the screens, our officials are now in position. We're going to be getting underway with event 202. It's the men's 200 metre freestyle. And just so you don't get confused when the heat numbers come up, in today's session, as throughout the event, we do the fastest 3 heats first of all. So we're going to start with a heat number 11, then do 12 and 13, and then later in the session we'll come back and do the first 10, and we'll do that for each event. There's 4, how many events are there? There's 4 events in this opening session this morning. The men's 200 metre free, the 50 metre backstroke, 50 metre breaststroke, and then the 100 metre butterfly. So for all 4 events, we'll see the fastest 3 heats first, then the remaining heats once we've concluded with those dozen fastest heats.
2 minutes until the racing gets
So as you can see on the screen, we are ready to go. Heat number 11, we're going to start with, from lane 0, Piers Bowman representing BUCS New. In 1, Brandon Sayers representing Swansea. Charlie Poole of Stirling in 2. Scott Gopi of Edinburgh in 3. Stirling teammates in 4 and 5, that's Craig McLean and Lorenz Wyman's. In 6, Loughborough's James McFadzean. Southern Martin McKines of Strathclyde. John Britton of Imperial in 8. And Josh Loney of Swansea goes on the far side in lane number 9.
The first event of the day, heat number 7.
Now please do feel free to use the YouTube chat box all day long. We'll be reading out as many messages as we can from there, so messages of good luck and support. Also, don't forget you can get involved on every other social media channel as well, using the hashtag SpeedoBucks on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever your preferred choice is. Now, if there are any delays during or between heats, I should say, completely normal, because we have 2 pools in action at the same time. We can't start races exactly at the same time. Of course, that would get very confusing for everybody in the arena or watching, and of course taking part in those heats as well. So we try and delay them or sort of feather them by around 30 seconds or so. So you might find the odd 30-second delay in a heat starting when you think, come on, let's get going. That's the reason why.
We've got the fastest swimmers in the men's and women's 200 freestyle. So let's make all the athletes feel welcome and hand over to our officials. In pool 1, this is heat 11.
So we are ready to go. Get the morning underway. Right on 9 AM. Lovely stuff. Many heats that eventually see in this morning's session, and also this afternoon starting at 1:30. They're all trying to get into those finals in session number 4, beginning at 6 PM this evening. There will be A finals and B finals of anything up to 200 metres. Entry times quickest came from the Stirling duo, a 1:44.76 and a 1:46.62. Craig McLean, the quickest of those 2.
Piers Bowden of Buxton University. Brandon Sayers in 1, Charlie Poole 2, Scott Gopi 3.
Don't be surprised if there's a bit of a gap between the first finisher. And the rest of the pool in this one, it does go out to entry times in around about the 1:52.53s. And as you can see in the pool already, McLean and Goadby in the Wireman's. Good body length advantage already.
Olivia Tatton of Bucks University in 1, Becca Sutton, Swansea 2, Rachel Bethel, Ulster 3, Lucy Hope, Edinburgh 4, Rachel Masson, Edinburgh 5, Gobby Britton of UCL in 6, Amy Buttle, Surrey in 7, Sydney Bairstow of Edgehill.
And these races will contain the second final of the session this evening. So it's Scott Goadby of Edinburgh out in front, then the Stirling teammates. So a Scottish trio. Is he going to be quick enough for the finals later on? Let's make a note of the time.
Scott Goadby takes the heat in the men's pool, or else Veermans and Craig McLean, both of Stirling, pick up second and third.
So the fastest. So just have a little, just ignore those graphics on the screen. The times were, so winning was Scott Goadby 1:48.94. So correct time on the screen, just in the wrong lane. So lane 3 was Scott Goadby. Then you have Lorenz Wyman's 1:49.62 and Craig McLean was a 1:49.9. So 1:48.94 for Goadby. And those three under 1:50. So the next two heats kind of know what they've got to do. Top 10 are going to get into the final. Is the advantage with those going first, or those in the heat number 13, which will be our third of these three heats. But we're ready for heat number 12. From this near side, Michael Hewitt of Edinburgh, Callum Laurie of Stirling goes in 1, Neil Wiley of Manchester Metropolitan in 2, Luke Turley Bath in 3, Jack McMillan of Ulster in 4, Jay Lelliott Sheffield Hallam in 5, Julian Chan of Loughborough in 6, Fraser Agnew, Harriet Watt in 7, Thomas Barton, Liverpool John Moore in 8, and Hugo Bellamy Cambridge in 9. Good start here in lane number 8 from Thomas Barton of Liverpool.
In heat 12 in the men's pool,
He's up there with the fastest on paper, Jack McMillan of Ulster. Ulster's time 1:44.2. Coming into this one. Going to lead at the halfway mark by just over half a second back to Barton and Elliott. Just outside his second to chase is Agnew and Chan.
From Liverpool John Moores, Thomas Barton in 8, and Cambridge's Hugo Bellamy in lane 9. In heat 8 in the women's pool, Alice Fender.
So apart from our leader, much tighter race than we saw in heat number 1. Jay Lelliott of Sheffield Hallam in 5. And now the local team got a campus literally 100 yards down the road. They'll be very used to this pool.
And
the man from Ulster, just half a body length lead over Jay Lelliott. The time to beat is 1:48. Not to guarantee their place in the final, but give them a very good chance of that. And McMillan almost on the button, isn't he? 1:48.15, Lelliott 1:49.22. So that's 5 men so far out of our first 2 heats under 1:50. So that looks like the time our final heat are going to be aiming for to get into that final. Will Jack McMillan be there? We'll find out in just a couple of minutes' time once we conclude heat number 13. Now, of course, it's not impossible that a heat number 10, which we're going to see later on, can get into that final. But the reason we have the fastest 3 heats first is just to give these guys the most rejuvenation time later in the day. So heat number 13, Tom Thorpe of Manchester Metropolitan on the near side in 0. Ethan Raymond of Bath in 1, Adi Hosanna of Edinburgh in 2, Alex Brigazzi of Loughborough in 3, Duncan Scott of Stirling in 4, Joe Litchfield of Loughborough in 5, William Riley of Bath in 6, Lane 7, Ross Leslie of Edinburgh in 8, Jamie O'Connor of Portsmouth, And in lane number 9, Daniel Ferguson of Harriet Watt. So Duncan Scott had a great night last night, didn't he, as well? It's a 1:42.47 coming into this one. That is 6 seconds quicker on the entry than the fastest time we've had so far of our 2 of 3 fastest heats.
And now in pool number 2,
We're going to shortly be moving on to the men's 50-metre backstroke. And this is much closer. No outright leader. Bagazi and Scott, less than 2 tenths separating them. And you've got 5 swimmers under 1 second from Bagazi. And include Raymond in that one as well, just outside the second.
Another underway in pool 2. Let's quickly run you through everyone in pool 1. Tom Thorpe in lane 0, Ethan Raymond 1, Amy Hassan.
So Susani, Bagazi, Scott, Litchfield and Riley, those 5 lanes across the middle. In lane number 8, Jamie O'Connor of Portsmouth, he's hanging on there as well, as is lane number 1, Ethan Raymond. But still those same 5 within a second of Scott. And is it just narrowing down to 4 now as we go into the final 25? This is not just a race to win the heat, it's a race to get into the final. 1:48.15 is the time to beat to guarantee your place, otherwise you'll be waiting on confirmation. Lane number 5, Joe Litchfield is going to get there first, 1:49.12. These guys have to wait, although that is now 9 times under 150. I think Ado Hosani might make it into the final as well with a 150 on the button. He's going to make it in 10th place. Wait for the confirmation, of course. If there's any disqualifications, we will have to wait and see. But look at that, it was close, wasn't it? We said it was throughout. And in the end, just 3 tenths separating first and fourth. Husani 50 on the button. And we're going to move on to our next event, 2:04, which is the men's 50-metre backstroke. Again, we'll have the 3 fastest heats first. So we're going to start with heat number 16. And we'll come back and do the first 15 heats a little bit later on at the end of the session.
Next event in pool number 1 is the men's multi-classification 50-metre backstroke, heat 16.
And there should be no delay in getting underway with this one, because to my right-hand side, the women are well underway in their number heat 9. Again, if you're just joining us, you can watch the women's events on a separate YouTube channel, because they are in a separate pool. There's 2 pools going on side by side. Of course, Olympic venue, or Olympic pool here at Ponsford International Sports Centre. But to prevent making it a 6-day event and just making it a 3-day event, they've been split side by side. So at the end of its length, if you look to the right-hand side of the screen, you'll just maybe see some swimmers turning. So these are going to be quick now. 3 heats for now. We're going to watch another 15 later on, but these are the 3 fastest. 24.1 is the time they're looking for on the entries. John Bennett, Callum Raymond, Matthew Gray, Harry Turner, Martin Walton, Liam White, Harry Noble, Tom Garden, Alex Lezard, Matthew Evans are taking place. And Martin Walton has beaten me to it. 24.26 fastest in heat number 16. And no surprise to see the centre 3 lanes taking it. Liam White and Harry Turner behind, both under 25.5. So we'll keep our eyes on those times. 24.26 from Martin Walton. Now for the 50-metre events, there are going to be A and B finals, so there's actually 20 places available in finals. So a lot of these guys you're probably going to be seeing a little bit later on. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Could we please have a representative from Nottingham and from...
And when we have a bit more time later on, I'll explain, as I did last night, how the points system works, and how the medals work, and how you guarantee yourself a little bit of glory. But in heat number 17, Jordan McDonald of Newcastle, this is from the near side, George Lehman of Plymouth, Billy Dewhurst, Manchester Met, Oliver Fitt, Stirling, Dan Cross, Loughborough, Craig McNally, UWS, Filippo Iacovides of Bath, Sam Pease of Stirling, Rafa Wendelken Dixon of Surrey, and Liam Jones of Reading. 24.1 quickest entry coming of Dan Cross of Loughborough. And he turns first with Craig McNally of UWS. Just the time they spent under the water as well is absolutely incredible. Couple of metres to go. It's all about the time really for those two in the middle. It's going to be a 24.78 and 25.12, so doesn't beat the time of Martin Walton from heat number 16 we've just seen. So all these chaps will just have to wait for confirmation whether they've made it to A or B finals. You are, of course, online watching. You can do the same if you open up a separate tab. All the results as they come in are available on the BUCS website or the BUCS Play app. So if you want to get really involved and to save yourself writing down all these times on a scrap of paper, they are all available to you live as they come in. So on to heat number 17. Sorry, heat 18. God, they do go fast, don't they? Absolutely fly by. Heat number 18, Joe Stott of Leeds, Joshua Smith of Bath, Andrew Sawkins at Edinburgh, Scott Gibson, his teammate of Edinburgh in 3. From 4 onwards, Thomas Howdell, Manchester, Luke Greenback, Loughborough, Alex Mason, Stirling, Martin Cato, Glasgow, Tom Gambold of Manchester, and Cameron Manley of Oxford. And look at these two down the centre, Thomas Howdell and Luke Greenbank. 24.42 and 24.58, almost spot on the button of the time set by Martin Walton in heat number 16. You're likely to see them in the A final later. Again, there's 2 finals, fastest 10, second fastest 10. Now let's not assume that all those finals are going to come from these heats we've just seen. We're going to see the first 15 heats a little bit later on. Again, if you're just joining us, we have the fastest 3 heats first in each event, then come back to the beginning heats. So keep your eye on the BUCS website and the BUCS Play app to see who's made it into those finals. So coming up next, it's going to be the men's 50-metre breaststroke. And to those messages on YouTube, we are working right now on getting the women's channel up and running for you. If you head over to the BUCS channel, the BUCS Play website, you will be able to see all the results. But we are getting that ready. For now, you stick with me and the men, and we're going to move on to event 206. Again, the 50 breaststroke. 3 fastest heats in this one. We're going to start with heat number 22, so we've got plenty of breaststroke to come later on in the session, haven't we? 24 heats in total. To the fastest 3 now. In heat 22. You're going to see Victor Ruzanov of Surrey, his teammate Sam Nield in 1, Sam Goldrick of Kiel in 2, David Bloomfield of Loughborough in 3, Foom Lester-Corkham of Staffordshire in 4, Daniel Lim of Heriot-Watt in 5, Thomas Wiggins of Manchester in 6, Matthew Williams of Oxford in 7, Max Friedman, Portsmouth in 8, and Kieran Conway of Liverpool in lane number 9. And there you have them, ready to go. Again, we're just waiting for a women's race to get underway, and it has done.
Of Stirling in this final heat before we move on to the breaststroke, but then Jessica Short, what a finish from her, 28.04. Emily Crane has taken a lot to a panic. I'm sure she's dry a bit. That's the top 4 in the final heat. Next event is the men's 50-metre breaststroke, and in pool number 1, it's heat 22.
So we can now get underway. Again, heat 22. Entry times, quickest came from Foom Lestig Northam, 27.06. 27.9 from Daniel Lim. And in fact, Leslie Norton is struggling in lane number 4 because it's 3 and 5 out in front. David Bloomfield of Loughborough and Daniel Lim of Harriet Watt. It's going to be those two to touch first of all and set the time for the rest. It is a 28.07 from Bloomfield, Daniel Lim 28.1. Sam Neal down in lane number 1, 28.65. So good swimming from Bloomfield and Lim to set the marker, put it down just 300 separating those two in fact. 28.07 is the time for heat number 23, those chaps to beat. In heat 23, James King in lane 0 of Surrey, Morgan Berryman of Stirling in 1, George Hopkins of Swansea in 2, Kyle Boyack of Stirling in 3, Archie Goodburn of Loughborough in 4, Ollie Crosby, Sheffield Hallam in 5, Greg Butler, Loughborough in 6, Ewan Leslie, Harriet Watt in 7, Rory Dixon of Stirling in 8, and Callum Brooke of Lincoln in number 9. Lane number 4, Archie Goodburn of Loughborough, 26.9 on the entry times. Ollie Crosby, Sheffield Hallam, 27.31. Only one other man under 28, in fact, which is Kyle Boyack of Stirling. And they all rise pretty much simultaneously. In fact, lane number 1, Morgan Berryman, not joined us for this one. And this is incredibly close. I can't call this even from the side on. It's going to be Ollie Crosby, 28.54. It's not quicker than Daniel Lim of heat number 22. Archie Goodburn, 28.6 for second fastest. Then George Hopkins. Kyle Boyack settling for 4th in the heat. Is it going to be enough to make the A final later? Will he have to settle for the B? One more heat to give us a really solid answer, but more heats later on who could come and spoil the party for these chaps in the faster heats. Craig Benson of Stirling, 26.89. He's the fastest entry in heat 24. Making up the pool though from the near side, Marco Ikovodis of Bath, Oswald Hood of Nottingham, Hugo Turcomato of Lancaster, Lewis Fraser of Swansea, Craig Benson of Stirling, Edinburgh teammates Jack Thorpe and Nicholas Quinn, Lewis Waters of Cambridge, Will Russell of Cardiff and Tom Howarth of Leeds Beckett. And away we go, third and final heat to show to begin with, before we move on to event 208, the 100-metre butterfly.
Victory for Cara Hanlon.
Right in front, Lewis Fraser, Craig Benson and Jack Thorpe at the halfway mark. Already half a body length advantage. Lane number 6, Nicholas Quinn of Edinburgh, trying to keep up with his teammate in 5, Jack Thorpe. Lewis Fraser, Craig Benson, Jack Thorpe. Is it's going to be those three. It's going to be that trio at the top. It's going to go to lane number 4, Craig Benson, 27.6. Certainly he'll be in the A final later alongside Lewis Fraser and Jack Thorpe. The rest will have to wait. But Craig Benson, fastest on paper and sets the fastest time in the heats. He'll want to replicate that in the final later. Got plenty of time to hang around. So for those asking on YouTube still, we do believe that is now up and running for you. So if you switch back to the women's channel, we do apologise. So on to event 208, 100-metre butterfly. Heat number 15 to begin with. From the near side, Jonathan Say of Edinburgh, George Barber of Sheffield Hallam, Lewis Hodgett Swansea, Michael Hewitt Edinburgh, Scott McLeay Stirling, Lewis Fraser Swansea, Morgan Berryman Stirling, Sam Goldrick Kiel, Aidan Sparling Derby and Jack Faby of Cardiff Metropolitan.
Imogen Clark takes T22, Casey Robinson and Megan Morrison making up the top 3. Imogen Clark 30.53 as well. The next race, well, the race we're currently watching in heat
so cracking first 50 from Scott McLeay of Stirling.
Heat 50 of the men's 500 fly.
Body length advantage on this near side, lane 0. Don't see too many challenges from lane 0, but Jonathan Say of Edinburgh, closest challenger to Scott McClay.
It's an empty lane in 6, with Sam Goldrick in 7, Aidan Sparling in 8.
Lane 3, Michael Hewitt of Edinburgh, doing his best to keep on the toes. I've still got my eye on Jonathan Say of Edinburgh in 0, but the win most definitely comes the way of Scott McClay. 53.33 winning time in the heat. Michael Hewitt closest to him, 55.13, and the man we had our eye on, Jonathan Say in lane 0, does finish in the top 3, 55.6. So marker put down by Scott McClay, 53.33. Heat 16 and 17 to come. And then after that, that'll be our dozen fastest heats from the 4 events, so 3 from each. And then we'll go right back to the start with the 200 freestyle and do the remaining heats.
Heat 16.
So heat number 16. Christian Tye of Manchester on this near side. Then comes Tom Dame, Sheffield Hallam, Harry Lewis Mitchell of Edinburgh, Mark Alcrick of Glasgow, Duncan Scott of Stirling, Jack McMillan Ulster, Dan Morley Newcastle, Luke Gunning Kent, Jack Toe Sheffield Hallam, and Matthew Titman of Birmingham.
Lane 0, Christian Tye of Manchester, Tom Down, Sheffield Hallam in 1.
So over in lane number 9, Matthew Titman, Birmingham, joining the 4 centre lanes.
Duncan Scott, Stirling goes in lane 4.
So Scott McMillan, Eldrick, Morley, then Titman. All those 4 within 1 second. Oh, Duncan Scott. Duncan Scott, he's in so many events, isn't he? Did very well last night. Already had a good race this morning. And he's going to take this heat as well. Half a body length advantage, just 5 metres to play with. Lanes 3 and 4, Mark Elcrick and Jack McMillan doing their best they can, but nobody's going to catch Duncan Scott. 54.31, almost a full second ahead of Mark Elcrick and Jack McMillan. Fantastic swimming. No doubt we'll be seeing more of Scott later this evening.
Next in pool number 1, heat 17.
Heat 17 then, final of our heats for now before we go back to the beginning. Gregor Swinney of Strathclyde in lane 0, then comes James Watson of Kiel, David Hammond of Sony, Ryan Brown UWS, Joe Litchfield of Loughborough, Jamie Ingram Manchester, Edward Rednick of Stirling, James Brown of Loughborough, Felix Gifford of Stirling, and Alfonso Sequeira of Manchester on the far side. And it is a blinding start from Dan Morley in lane number 4.
Jan Machinez takes it for Stirling. Georgie Bryan.
Joe Litchfield, isn't it? In fact, lane for lane number 4, just here in the arena. Just a bit of a delay on the scoreboard.
Meanwhile, over in pool number 1, Dan Morley.
So in 4, you've got Joe Litchfield of Loughborough. Closest to him, maybe lane number 1, James Watson of Kiel. In lane number 5, Jamie Ingram of Manchester. But the win does go to lane number 4, Joe Litchfield of Loughborough. We'll just wait for some time confirmations for you. Just waiting for those graphics at some point. But of course, again, point yourself towards the BUCS website where you can keep up to date with all the times as they come in. And the BUCS Play app as well. So that's our 3 fastest heats from the opening 4 events. We'll now go back and do the remainder of the heats. So we're back to event 202, and we're going to start with heat number 1. I've got confirmation that the women's stream is now up and running. So if you are waiting for some women's events, we do apologise, of course, for the miscapture of those early ones. We'll be with you for the rest of the day and Sunday as well. It's a full, long event. If you joined us last night, we had some cracking swimming and our first final and medals given out last night as well. And of course, it's not just medals for the top 3, it's points for the top 10 that all count towards these championship scores.
59.10 ahead of the Yasmin Perry of Aberdeen. Jessica Calderbank Salford picks up 3rd place.
And what I'll do during one of these heats, because it's the only time I'll really get a chance during the 200 metres, is just explain to you how the points system works here at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. Let's just get this heat underway first of all. In lane number 4, Kieran Rafey of York. And it's going to be a lonely 200 metres, no pacemakers or anybody to challenge him, as our representatives from Oxford and Stirling not making the start list. So let's have a quick look while we can at the points then for these championships. So in each event, only the fastest individual, this is referring to the finals, from each institution will score points. So let's say you have a final where Edinburgh get 1st and 2nd, they won't get points for 2nd place, they'll only get points for 1st, and we go down the scores through the A final, the B final, into the heats if necessary, until we get our top 10 from different universities, okay? 1st place gets 10 points, 2nd place 9, down to 1 point for 10th place. Relay teams score double, and only the teams in the A final will score points, except in the case of a disqualification or no-show, in which case the subsequent points scoring will be determined by the rankings of the B final and or heats as applicable. Okay, so only one university point scoring member in each final. If we need to go down to a 2nd final, the B final or the heats, we do that. 10 points for 1st, 9 points for 2nd, right down to 1 point for 10th place, until we have 10 different universities in those top 10 places. BUCS medals are awarded to the first 3 individuals or teams in each event. Trophies are awarded to the overall top university, calculated using the swimming points, the top men's and women's teams, the top male and female performances, and the top male and female para swimming performances. Presentations for all of this take place as per the presentation protocol at the conclusion of sessions 4 and 6, which is pretty much at the end of each day.
That's all right. Yeah. We have 4 people swimming each team.
So back to Kieran Rafey of York, swimming on his own in heat number 1. Entry time around about the 3-minute mark. In fact, I've got 3 minutes on the button, and it's a 2:06.64. So it's really ridiculously quicker than the paperwork. That's fast enough to get him into about heat number 5, in fact. So definitely kept something in the tank, didn't he? Let's ignore that entry time. So 2:06.04.
Now in pool number 1, it is heat number 2.
We're on to heat number 2. So Nathal Costigan of Loughborough in lane number 1. He's swimming in the S12 category. Joseph Guy of Kiel in 2. Malaya Yukason of Surrey in 3. Joseph Green of Edgehill in 4. Jack Carr of Sheffield in 5. Sam Grunnett of Aberystwyth in 6. Takayuki Suzuki of Northumbria in 7. He's in the S4 category. In Cameron Kelly, Liverpool John Moore in lane number 8. So remember, any time during today, if you want to leave any messages on the YouTube channels, we do read out as many as possible. You're with myself, Ewan, on the men's stream, of course. My colleague Murray is giving you the women's commentary. Now, the entry times from heat number 1 were quite misleading, but I'm going to go with it for heat number 2. And it was a 2:28 from Joseph Green of Edge Hill in lane number 4. Was his entry time. So we'll wait and see. He does lead with a 1:06.62 at the halfway mark, so that's about, well, it's still a lot quicker than his entry through its halfway stage. And then Kelly, Yukelson and Carr. So we've got a clear front 3 in heat number 2. In lane number 5, Jack Carr, the best of the rest, but a few metres to make up. And Cameron Kelly in 8 on the far side. He's going to be within touching distance of Joseph Green into the final 50. In fact, it's just 0.33 of a second. Yukelson at just beyond 2 seconds now. Carr 8 to 7. And this is most definitely a two-man race. In fact, Cameron Kelly is going to turn for home first by about a quarter of a metre or so. But he's pulling away, isn't he? That's half a body length out already. And he is going to take heat number 2, Cameron Kelly, from the outside lane. Very rare from the outside lanes, maybe less so in these opening heats. But he stretched it out to a body length. Fantastic final 50 from Cameron Kelly. 2:17.92 the time. We'll wait for Joseph Green's time. Here it comes, 2:20.39. Another 2 seconds back to Malaya Jake Yukelson. But wonderful swimming in lane number 8, Cameron Kelly, 2:17.92. Now in the pool we still have our S12 category swimmer, Nathaniel Kostelgan. Gentleman from Loughborough, and our S4 swimmer, Takayuki Suzuki of Northumbria in Southern.
Cameron Kelly takes the victory.
And they come now on these near side lanes, almost simultaneously in fact. So Joseph Guy 2:59, Suzuki just inside 2 minutes, as is Costigan in lane number 1.
The winning time there in heat number 2.
On to heat number 3. From lane 0, Tan Yun Ming of East Anglia, Ben Sarfield from Chichester, Cornelis Bamata of Imperial, Ben Reed of St Andrews, Ryan Barrett of Warwick, James Boots of Kent, Jordan Dobson of Cardiff, Aidan Cole of London, Lewis Rands of Strathclyde, and Francis Registon of Manchester Metropolitan.
Next in pool 1, heat 3.
And there's your names on the pool. Ryan Barrett of Warwick had a 2:10 coming in. Now, for the first time, you'll be aware that the name of the event has changed. It's now Speedo and BUCS Short Court Swimming Championships, a 3-year deal with Speedo. The Speedo and BUCS Short Court Championships brought to you live with the support of BUCS' new headline swimming partner, Speedo. The iconic global swimming brand have partnered with BUCS swimming programme for the next 3 years. They are proving popular here at Ponds Forge and can be with you at home as well. Use the BUCS20 discount code at speedo.com to get some of the latest and best swimming apparel in the world at a whopping 20% discount. That code again, BUCS 20 for 20% discount at speedo.com. BUCS would like to thank, of course, Speedo for their support of the Speedo and BUCS swimming series and, of course, higher education sport as a whole. So heat number 3 of 10 we're going to see now. We've already seen heats 11, 12, 13. If you're tuning in to watch those 3 fastest heats, reverse and rewind back to the start. They're the first 3 heats we showed. Winning times around about the 1:48 mark. Still, of course, any of these 10 heats and athletes can make it to that final, but the time they've got to get near, I think we had 9 swimmers 150 or under. So it is going to be a challenge. 2:10 again the entry time. Ryan Barrett in this one, he was the fastest. But look at lane number 3, Ben Reid. He's 5 metres out in front is Ben Reid. I think he might have had some energy drink on his cornflakes this morning, because he is absolutely flying, isn't he? And he will beat the fastest entry time into the heat. His winning time is going to be 2:05.57. That's good enough to have entered 2 or 3 heats further down the field.
And they're in
Ben Sarsfield 2:11.38. That was the sort of times we were looking at. And then Jordan Dobson is the top 3 in heat number 3. So cracking swimming from Ben Reid.
For Dobson. And that completes heat 3 of the men's 200 free.
So on to heat number 4.
We're ready to go with heat 4.
From lane 0, near side, Joe Goldring of Exeter, Christy Williams of Liverpool, James Porter of Leeds Beckett, Sean Armstrong of Manchester, Zebedee Wakely of Leeds, Christopher Heppel of Sheffield, Aidan Wright of Coventry, Jamie Everest of Durham, Keenan Napper of Cardiff Met, and Charles Harding of Liverpool. Quick start in lane 0 from Joe Golding of Exeter.
There'll be a short delay in pool.
He's joined by Zebedee Wakely, Christopher Heppel and Aidan Wright.
Joe Golding of Exeter goes in lane 0. Christy Williams, Liverpool in 1. James Porter, Leeds Beckett in 2.
I didn't think there was going to be much separating them, just 1,700 separating the top 4. Harding inside a second, the rest 1-2 seconds and beyond.
Everest 7, Keenan Napper in 8. Charles Harding of Liverpool goes in lane 9.
Entries now around about the 2:05.
Going on here in those middle 3 lanes. Wakely, Heppel and
That's the
Wright.
fastest time we saw from heat number 3 as well.
2 outside lanes.
Again, 1:48. And anything under 150, good enough to get you into the final later on.
Still nothing between these 3 at the turn. Perhaps just Zebedee Wakely getting himself.
Joe Golding just falling off the pace of those front 3 now. From lane 4, 5 and 6, Wakely, Heppel and Wright.
And gets it as well.
On the opposite outside lane, Charles Harding going well of Liverpool.
Position. So Wakely from Heppel, from Wright in 200 freestyle heat number 4. Really good final. 50 metres ahead here.
50 metres to go. Wakely now beyond a second, as it was 1,700 separating the top 4, wasn't it? Now there's over 3 seconds. So Wakely dragging the field apart. Now turn with 25, and he can see his counterpart in lane 5, Christopher Heppel, as he turns and goes for home.
Who's going to take this one then? Zebedee Wakely of Leeds with 15 metres to go.
Aidan Wright chasing Heppel just as he does Wakely. And the fastest time in heat number 4 is 1:59.83. First we've seen from these earlier heats under the 2-minute mark. Then comes Heppel and Wright. There's a 3-man race early on. It was separated through the power of Zebedee Wakely in the final 75 metres. And he will take heat number 4. And Keenan Napper A 2:07 enough for 5th from Cardiff Met, so hopefully that will keep Stefan Geary fairly happy. We move on to heat number 5. In lane 0, Ben Williams of Cardiff. Then across the pool we go for in 1, Oliver Murray of Southampton, Oliver Ross of Bristol, Paolo Monez of Manchester in 3, Emir Thomas of Cardiff in 4, Sam Woodard of Canterbury 5, Mark Tuddenham of Southampton in 6, Portsmouth teammates Billy Martin and Tima Aydin in 7 and 8, and Rory Mithson of Glasgow in 9. Good start from Billy Martin of Portsmouth. He's over in lane number 7. In lane 2, Oliver Ross of Bristol. On the far side, lane 9, Rory Matheson of Glasgow. So he's got Billy Martin in 7 as his pacemaker through the first half of the race. So the centre 3 lanes, who would generally be the ones you'd see at the front, they're struggling. They're 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. Whereas lane 6 is Mark Tuddenham of Southampton, just coming back into this one now, chasing down 3rd spot in the heat. In 7 it's still Billy Martin out in front, then Rory Matheson, so the 2 of the 3 far side lanes. Taking control of heat number 5. That's a great swing from Billy Martin of Portsmouth. His teammate in 8, Tima Aydin, can't replicate it. I'm sure they trained together very long times. But in lane 7, Billy Martin, here he comes. 1:59 so far, the quickest in these early heats. 1:48 the quickest overall. And Billy Martin's time, 2 minutes pretty much on the button, just outside 2.5. Then there's Rory Matheson, 2:02.47. Mark Tuddenham, 2:04.41. So just 3 chaps under 2:05. Billy Martin the quickest. On to heat number 6. As always, starting from this near side, Lawrence Gilfrin of Warwick, Freddie Whitebrow of Portsmouth, Matty Johnson of Oxford, Harry Buttle of Surrey, Joseph Woolard Exeter, Joshua Frampton York, Mitchell Coombs Royal Holloway, Dan Wheeler Leeds Beckett, James Portier St Andrews and Jake Brassington Liverpool.
Ready to go in pool number 1, this is heat 6.
And off we go, heat 6, so 10 heats in total before we move on to our next event. Harry Buttle and Joseph Woolard, they'll lead the way. Half a second advantage for Portier, Wheeler and Brassington. Just 1.45 separating the entire field through 50. As you were with Harry Buttle of Surrey. Half a body length advantage now. There was 1.45 seconds separating the field at 50 metres. That's gone beyond 3 seconds now. In lane number 7, Dan Wheeler leads Beckett. He's up there with Joseph Woolard of Exeter. But it's still Harry Buttle in 3. Keep your eye on Dan Wheeler in lane number 7, because he's showing no signs of waning through 150. 5 swimmers within 2 seconds of each other. And there goes Dan Wheeler of Leeds Beckett. He'll turn with a good 2 seconds advantage over the early leader Harry Buttle of Surrey in lane number 3. And look at this little 3-man race in 3, 4 and 5. That's Harry Buttle, Joseph Wallard and Joshua Frampton. And in fact, it's going to be Joshua Frampton in 5. What a fantastic 25 metres. Not enough to catch Dan Wheeler in 2 minutes 89. But Joshua Frampton, 2:03.26. Harry Buttle settles for 2:04.39 in the end. So lots of changes happening in heat number 6. And we've got 3 heats to go in the men's 200 free.
In heat 6. So let's go back over to pool number 2, where it's time for heat 5.
Heat number 7 then. Felix Gallagher of Oxford in 0. And Joe Anderson Cambridge in 1. Miles Turner of Anglia Ruskin. Andrei Bolongoff of Leeds. Max Jels of Sheffield. Mark Muse of Heriot Watt. Ben Ferguson Stirling, his teammate Dion Cadrew next to him in 7. Sean Curley of Oxford Brooks in 8. And Jacob Robson of Liverpool is on the far side, lane number 9. Entry times now just on to the 2-minute mark. Max Jelfs and Mark Muse as Sheffield and Heriot Watt respectively, right on the 2-minute mark. Only seen one swimmer from these early heats go under 2 minutes. That was Zebedee Wakely at 1:59. He was in heat number 4. Fastest from all of the heats in total, because we've had the 3 fastest, it was a 1:48. 1:50 is the time you need to be aiming for to get yourself into the final later on this evening. So Max Jelfs leads the pack, but just by a fingernail or so to Turner, then bang off. Muse makes it a top 4. And lane number 2, Miles Turner. What a great third 50 that was. So he now leads by half a second over Bellingoff. Well, early leader Max Jelfs in 4. Still rounding out the top 3, but he's lost a couple of metres to both Miles Turner and Anne Bellingoff, and they're going to touch almost simultaneously. It goes down to just over a tenth of a second, going the way of Bellingoff in lane number 3, 1:55.21. 1100ths back is Miles Turner, and Max Jelfs, there's his time, 1:57.39. So 3 more times under 2 minutes. Not enough to get to the final, but great swimming from Bellingoff.
Ready to go in pool 2. This is heat 6.
And we move on to heat number 8. And taking part in heat number 8, Elliot Derrick of Warwick, Elliot Pickford of Manchester Metropolitan, Angus Rutherford Aberdeen, Sean Watson East Anglia, William Hogg Liverpool, George Alton Leeds, George Cowan Aberdeen, Newcastle teammates in 7 and 8, Audra Mallin and Stuart Evans, and then Tom Smith of Sheffield Hallam in 9. And that is an absolutely roaring start from lane number 0, Elliot Derrick of Warwick. My goodness me, he's gained 1.5 meters over 8 other swimmers in the pool with that dive. And he's inspired Elliot Pickford, his namesake from Manchester Metropolitan, to his side as well, because these two boys are out in front. Sean Watson, East Anglia, he's trying to make it a trio, as is George Cowan of Aberdeen in 6. But the advantage still with Elliot Derrick of Warwick in 0. Right on his tail, he's been inspired, hasn't he, Elliot Pickford of Manchester Met. Keep your eye on Sean Watson, East Anglia in 3. George Cowan still up there as well on the far side. Tom Smith of Sheffield Hallam, the hometown swimmer, looking to get involved in these later stages. And in fact, lane number 6, George Cowan of Aberdeen, has now overtaken the entire field. He's gone from 3rd to 1st in the last few metres. 50 to go, still work to be done. And our early leader, Elliot Derrick, now paying the price for that strong effort through the first 150. As he settles down back into 4th place now, he's in trouble for 5th as well. Because in lane number 1, the man that was chasing him, Elliot Pickford of Manchester Met, he's in a little battle with George Cowan, the leader, through 150 into the final 10. Going to be very close indeed. And now here comes Sean Watson from East Anglia from absolutely nowhere. He's going to make a top 3 as well. Winning time does go to George Cowan, 158.27. Very entertaining 200 metres there. And Elliot Pickford, 158.51. Then Sean Watson, what a final 50 from Watson to make 158.99. And Elliot Derrick, the entertainer for the first 100 metres, settles for 6th in 2 minutes, 0.63. Wonderful swimming, great entertainment from heat number 8.
In pool 1, this is men's 200 freestyle, heat 8.
So heat number 9, from lane 0, Konstantinos Onufre of Lancaster, Angus Warr of St Andrews, Bradley Veitch of Leeds, Mark Sherbeck of Cambridge, Finlay Saunders Stirling, Simon Clement of Sheffield Hallam, Francisco Goncalves of Aston, Jay Snowden Cardiff Metropolitan, Jonah Walsh of Heriot Watt, and Stefanos Volemas of Stirling in 9.
Correction, it is heat 9 in the men's freestyle. Konstantinos Onofrio of Lancashire goes in 0, Angus Warr, St Andrews 1, Bradley Welsh leads in 2.
So in number 9, nobody doing an Elliot Derrick from heat 8.
Stirling in 4, Simon Clement, Sheffield Hallam in 5, Francisco Goncalves of Aston in 6, Jay Snowden, Cardiff Met in 7.
On the YouTube chat channel, Stefan Geary is going to be watching closely to lane number 7, because that is Jay Snowden of Cardiff Metropolitan. And he's definitely up there at the moment, because everybody's up there. It's going to be less than a second and a half separating the pool at halfway. Oh, 1.65. My eyes deceived him by 1500ths. But Goncalves, 56.3 to the halfway mark. He leads. Then Snowden. And this isn't changing, is it, at all, really? You've got lanes 0, 1 and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit of work to do for Stefanos Volemas of Stirling on the far side, but he's still got 50 metres to play with. The cream rising to the top with Finlay Saunders of Stirling in lane number 4. He now has a half a stroke advantage over Simon Clement just to his side. It's another good challenge coming from lane 0 in heat number 9. This time it's Konstantinos Onufre of Lancaster. But we now do have a top 2 and the top one of that two is Finlay Saunders of Stirling. He's going to lead home Simon Clement. The time is going to be 1:55.44, 1.7 of a second ahead of Clement in lane number 2, and then Constantino Zanufre in lane number 3. There's something in the water in lane 0. One more heat to come in the event.
And we're ready to go in pool 1 for the final heat, heat number 10 of the men's 200 freestyle.
So final heat in this event, heat number 10 from lane 0. Sam Williams of Sheffield Hallam, Alfie Bones of Leeds, Jake Faby of Cardiff Met, Jacques Boncel of Cambridge, William Slawson of Birmingham, Charlie Hopkins of Swansea, Liam Snook of Birmingham, Joe Watt UWS, Simon Newton East Anglia and Ryan Huddart of Derby. Entry times in the 1:53s and 54s. They've got to get 1:50 on the button or better if they're going to make it into the final later on, because that was the time set by the 10th place finisher from our 3 fastest heats we saw at the beginning of this session. William Slawson on paper the quickest in that 1:53, but he's got to take 3.5 seconds off of that if he wants to be joining us from 6 p.m. onwards. In this event, of course, all of these swimmers take part in multiple events. This is just reference to the 200 free, of course. In lane 3, it is Jacques Boncel, 20-year-old from Cambridge, leading the way by half a stroke or so to lane number 6, Liam Snook of Birmingham. In the centre, you've got William Slawson and Charlie Hopkins. In lane 0, Sam Williams of Sheffield Hallam. They're your top 5. So work to do for Slawson and Hopkins in 4 and 5. Was leading the way by almost a body length and a half now in 3 and 6 is Jacques Boncel and Liam Snook. They turn just 0.12 of a second apart. They know what they've got to do. They'll be very aware of that 1:50 time. And they're going to bring it home together. They can probably see each other, a few lanes separating them, but nothing in distance towards the final timing pad. The winning time is going to be Liam Snook, 1:51.31. Valiant effort to get towards that final. Jacques Boncel, 1/10 of a second back. Will it be enough? I don't think so, but we'll wait for confirmation on the BUCS website and the BUCS Play app. Keep your eyes on both of those channels. So now we can go back to event 204, which is the men's 50-metre backstroke. We've already seen the fastest 3 heats earlier on in the session. If you want to watch those, just rewind the YouTube channel back to the start and you can watch the 3 fastest heats from all our events. But for now, we go back to heats number 1. And we're going to go right through to heat number 15. They'll fly by because they're 50-metre backstroke. They're not going to take much longer than 35 seconds or so at the very slowest. And the quickest time, so they get right down into the 27s. So 15 of these heats to come. 50-metre backstroke.
And Tabby McCormack takes it, 31.16. The first place time, Jessica Brunning in second. And ready to go in pool 1, heat 1.
The time set in those fastest heats was around about sort of 23-24 seconds. And here in heat number 1, Oliver Tykerson of Stirling, Benjamin Prosser of Kiel, Tom Fisher Coventry, Diogo Moura of Worcester, Alan Hasnack of St George's, Matthew Hunter Liverpool, John Moore, AJ Wood of Salford and Cameron MacDonald of Oxford in 8.
In pool 2, heat 2.
And a ridiculous start in lane number 7 from AJ Wood. He's already got 5 or 6 metres on some of the field. Absolutely incredible. He came in with well, I'm not going to even read it out. It looks ridiculous on the score paper. But his winning time in heat number 1 is going to be 27.6. Cracking swimming. Lane number 1, equally as good. Cameron McDonald at 31 on the far side. We'll wait and see what Oliver Tykeson's time is from Stirling, because he most definitely touched home second place. And in come the remainder of the field. There he is, 31.03. In fact, just 300ths outside Cameron McDonald. Now 27.6 for AJ Wood. That was enough to get him into heat number 14.
Next in pool 1, heat 2.
If you use that as an entry time, my goodness me, that's an absolutely huge difference. But again, the early heats, we don't read too much into the entry times. And we can move on to heat number 2. So in heat 2, from the near side, Yuri Den Oden, Jonathan Bryant, Samuel Gay, Nikolai Webber, Toby Stanya, William Cook, Adam Boss, Connor Spinks, Jordan Dobson and John Harvey.
And in pool 2, time for heat 3.
So nobody making such the big move that we saw in heat number 1, but those out in front are Toby Stanya in lane number 4, and in 7 it's Connor Spinks of Derby. In lane number 1, Jonathan Bryant of Hull, doing his best to catch those centre lanes coming through. Winning time, it is Connor Spinks, 30.79, 500ths back is Toby Stanya, and then Nikolai Webber beats everybody else to the top 3, 32.75.
Takes the victory in heat 2 in the men's pool. Toby Stanya of Marjon in second place, Nikolai Webber, Oxford Brooks in third.
Heat number 3. Thomas Bognansky in 1, in 0, sorry, of Reading. In 1 is Jacob Humphrey of Chichester. 2, Jamie Sanchez Capuchin of Bradford. Lewis Dobson of Sheffield in 3. Dylan Bogok of Bangor in 4. Will Howard, Reading in 5. Andrew Ferns, Liverpool John Moore in 6. James Billam of Hull in 7. John Gardner, Oxford Brooks in 8. And Josh Lancaster, Chichester in 9. Now this is where we will see the often delay in getting the heats underway, simply because we also have the women's 50-metre races going in the pool to my right and your right-hand side. So of course they are starting regularly, and we do need to leave a few seconds, of course, between starting each heat. So the women are just getting underway. Again, if you want to watch any of the women's events, there is a separate YouTube channel or separate stream. Just search Speedo BUCS 2019. You'll see 2 options, the men's races and the women's races. Or of course, if you've got 2 screens, you can just watch both at the same time.
In pool 1.
So alongside Speedo, one of our event partners is Bright Network. They're the UK's #1 student careers network, offering exclusive advice, networking events and fast-track opportunities with top graduate employers. Bright Network work with over 300 firms and have helped 14,000 students secure their roles to date. Find out how they can help you at their stand on the balcony or visit brightnetwork.co.uk. 14,000 students secured their roles to date by using Bright Network. Probably worth checking them out.
And Nathan, quickest over there in the women's pool, 38.08 for the win. Holly Engel of Lincoln, second. Phoebe Willoughby Han at Southampton picks up third place.
So heat 3 underway. And it's Jamie Sanchez in 2.
A reminder
in 30.69. ahead of Lewis Dobson 31.05, and then James Billam in 7:32.07. So nobody managing to crack the 30-second barrier, as we saw in heat number 2.
Let's go, Charlie.
But with 12 more heats to come, I'm sure we're going to see it broken plenty of times. So we go on to heat number 4. In heat number 4, you're going to see Ross Acklam of Strathclyde in 0, Thomas Goss of Chichester in lane number 1, Matt Gummersall, Liverpool John Moore in lane 2, Finlay Holden of Newcastle in 3, his teammate Charlie Dexter in lane number 4, Stephen McQuillan of Liverpool John Moore in 5, Southampton's James Hartley in 6, Marjon's Harrison Jones in 7, King's College Daniel Parker in 8, and in lane number 9, local team Sheffield Hallam's Charlie Harmon.
Over in pool number 2 then, Danny Brazier.
A lovely start for Thomas Goff of Chichester in 1. We'll turn for home first, far side. Look at Harrison Jones, Daniel Parker and Charlie Harmon. They're leading the rest of the field, but they're still trailing Thomas Goff of Chichester. He's got a few metres left to bring this home in heat number 4. He's going to take it. He does indeed. Winning time is 30.17. Then Harrison Jones, Charlie Harmon and Daniel Parker. We saw that trio on the far side. They do make up the top 4, but everybody was chasing Goff from the first 10 metres or so. 30.17. Enough for the lad from Chichester to take heat number 4.
In pool 2, heat 5.
So heat 5, coming up, you've got Peter Davis in lane 0, Aidan Carroll in 1, Callum McDonald in 2, Ben Gilchrist 3, Kelvin Wong in 4, Luke Harden in 5, Aaron Lucy in 6, Lewis Smart in 7, Jacob Reeve in 8, and Daniel Bazudane in 9. So no Aaron Lucy in 6. Underway heat number 5, and it is this time it's Kelvin Wong of Bristol. He's going to reach the halfway stage, half a body length ahead of Ben Gilchrist. And then in lane number 7, Lewis Smart going well. But it's a fantastic first 30 from Kelvin Wong. Nobody's going to catch him in lane number 4. Lane number 1, Aidan Carroll doing his best as well, alongside Ben Gilchrist, but it will go to Wong. We'll wait for his time to be confirmed, because Lewis Smart 29.09, and there's Kelvin Wong's time 28.08. That was the winning time, cracking time as well. We were looking for somebody to go under 30 seconds. He's done it by 2 seconds as Wong. Then Lewis Smart 29.09. That should be a number 2, of course, next to his name. Then Ben Gilchrist, another man under 30 seconds, 3rd place in heat number 5. On to heat number 6, 5 through them, aren't we? Jacob Truman Marsden on this near side. Then comes Aidan Coe, Tobias Brown, Ed Langley, Jack Dorland, Joshua Steele, Sean Curley, Peter Lever, Aidan Mitchell and Charles Curran.
Tegan Galbraith of Manchester wins heat 6.
Now this is much tighter. This is what we expect over 50 metres. Very, very tight indeed. We saw it in the 3 fastest heats. If anything, Jacob Truman-Marsden in lane 0. He's up there with Ed Langley of Leeds in 3. In 4, coming through right in the last few metres, Jack Lawland-Durring. Can he take this? In fact, he does. My goodness, what a last 15 metres from Dorlan. 29.7 to take the heat. Just pips Ed Langley in the last 5 metres by 0.07 of a second, and our early leader through halfway, Jacob Truman-Marsden, takes 3rd place, 29.88. Heat number 7. From the near side, Angus War, George Partridge, Niall McRoberts, Jordan Hilliard, Ben Reid, Jason Chang, Cameron Fleming, Jacob Smith, Toaz Zien and Iga Genki Zumanov. Or Zamunovic. So best start from Jacob Tang of Surrey. He turns first. It's not really much of an advantage. He's in lane number 7, Jacob Smith of Portsmouth. He's up there. Look at lane number 9 going. Igor Genki Zamunovic. Fantastic swimming in lane 0 as well. Angus Ward. This is going to go somewhere between the outside lanes, but lane number 5, Jason Tang, 28.78. Good enough for the win. Then come your outside lanes, Igor Genki Zamunovic, 28.89 and 29.46 for Angus War. So leading from the centre out to the sides, Jason Tang takes heat number 7, 28.78. Loads of times now under 30 seconds, aren't there? We did get down to the 24s. Seems ridiculous, doesn't it? The 24-second mark in our fastest 3 heats we had at the start of the session. And again, you can watch those by going, rewinding to the start of this YouTube stream.
In pool 2, this is heat 8.
Now alongside Speedo and Bright Network, we also have Camp America as an event partner. And if you like holidays, Camp America are the company for you. They are offering you the chance to win a free holiday across the USA. My goodness. Last year, University of East Anglia swimmer Gabrielle Conge did just that and celebrated in style with a trip to the west coast of the USA. Go see if your luck's in by heading to campamerica.co.uk/BUCS. Or if you're going to be in the venue at any point over the weekend, they have a stand as you enter the spectators arena. So get involved in some way. I've been lucky enough to spend a bit of time in America, an amazing country, and they're offering it you for free. Camp America, check them out. Heat number 8. From lane 0 on the near side, Jamie Robertson, Phelan McNally, Adam Alcock, Isaac Fillingham, Henry McLaughlin, James Portier, Scott Neve, Tom Matthias, Harry Eade and Robert Taylor. Every single entry time under 30 seconds. Will we see every heat time under 30 seconds?
Shushila Gosei Colvini of East Anglia takes the victory in heat 8. Olivia Hawkins, Southampton.
Just to let you know of our schedule. This is currently session 2. Session 3 will begin at 1:30 or between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, to be confirmed depending on the finishing of this session, of course. And session 4 today, or the 3rd session of the day, which is session 4, that is our finals. So that's when all the medals and the points are given out. That starts around 6 p.m. So halfway through this block of heats now, heat number 8 of 15. And what a start by Jamie Robertson of Portsmouth. He's absolutely smashed it out of the blocks. He's 2 or 3 metres ahead with just 10 metres to go. Absolutely ridiculous swimming. Jamie Robertson of Portsmouth, lane 0, absolutely destroys the field in 25.71. We were looking for somebody to go under 30 seconds. He's done it by 4.5. Second place, Henry McLaughlin, 28.76. It's a good time, but it's nowhere near the elite winner. And then you have Robert Taylor on the far side, 28.91. Plenty of times, aren't there, under 30 seconds. Really cracking swim from the field, but nobody after that start could catch Jamie Robertson.
And now in pool 1, heat 9.
And we can move on to heat number 9. Dominic Keast on this near side, then Joshua Arnone, Daniel Tate, Alexander Beveridge, Eden Berry, Adam Haruma, Timothy Moores, Michael Pentland, Rory Duncan and Ravish Ramantahal.
Gianna Martin took the victory in heat 9, followed by Annabelle Lee, then Lucy Milk. And we're underway in heat 9 in the men's competition.
See, now this is what we expect, a little bit closer, just somebody with a slight advantage. In this case it's Daniel Tate of Newcastle in 2, far side lane 9, Rowish Ramantal of Imperial College, he's out there as well. Lane number 5, Adam Haruma, who's going to get it? It does go to Ramantal on the far side, 29.61. He's joined under 30 seconds by Adam Haruma in lane number 5. He takes second place. And then Daniel Tate, only those 3 chaps under 30 seconds. They round out the top 3, 29.92 for Tate.
Next in pool 1, heat 10.
Heat number 10. You're going to see Matt Thomas, Scott Coates, Harry Badnell, Sam Wortley, Kelvin Cheng, Alexander Song, Shay Elliott, Ryan Whittington, Logan Eason and James Foster.
In pool 2, this is heat 11.
And again we look to this near side. This time it's Scott Coates in lane number 1 from Dundee. Pretty even keel across the rest of the pool from lanes 2 to 9. Still with half a metre or so, Scott Coates with 5 to go. Can anybody catch him? Could be lane number 6, Shay Elliott, but no, he takes it quite comfortably in the end. 28.45 versus Shay Elliott's 29.25. Then comes Harry Badnell, 29.31. Nice, close, entertaining swimming. Scott Coates takes it, 28.45.
Next event in pool 1, 50 backstroke, heat 11.
Heat number 11, Ben Hunt on this near side. Then comes Paul Burney, Jack Corsten, Matthew Quinn, Joshua Frampton, Jarvis Chapman, Swale Talib, Tom Conte, Chris Lambert and Joe McCallion. Heat number 11 of 15. We'll then move back to the 50-metre breaststroke and finish the session with the 100-metre butterfly. Now this one's very, very tight to call. Centre 6 lanes towards this near side. Also in Southern, Tom Conte of Portsmouth. Could he take it? But lane number 4 out in front, Joshua Frampton of York. Who does get it? It does go to Tom Conte, 28.88. 100th of a second ahead of Jack Corsten in lane number 2. Then comes Joshua Frampton, 600ths back. 700 separating the top 3 in heat number 11.
And we're ready to go in pool 1. This is heat 12.
Heat number 12, Thomas Boyt, Benjamin Strover, Daniel Hedden, Owen Drabwell, James Cook, Miles McAuliffe, George Marsh, James Batty, James Towner and Devin Kellett. Entry times all under 29 seconds and above 28. In fact, there is just 2,700 separating the field on the entries. James Cook the quickest of those. He leads alongside James Towner in 8 of Oxford. In fact, James Towner, what a turn at the 25-metre mark for Towner in 8. He's going to take this home comfortably by a metre or two. Nobody's near him. It's going to be a close fight for second and third, but Towner takes it. A time of 26.74, one of the fastest we've seen in these opening seats. Miles McAuliffe 28.51 second, and James Cook 500s back, but 26.74, cracking swimming from Towner.
Next in pool 1, this is heat 13.
Time for heat number 13. Matthew Cortis, Charlie Eshelby, Stuart Crawford, Harry Puffett, Chris Mother, Evan Brunston, Aaron Bustock, William Strachan, Morgan Davies and Jack Sangster. So these heats are going one of two ways, aren't they? Either somebody absolutely runs away with it, or it comes down to a tenth of a second or so. I think we've got the latter, unless somebody can have an incredible turn as we had in heat number 12. But no, this looks tight. Number 4, Chris Mother, Nottingham Trent out in front. 5 metres to play with in lane number 1. Chris Ensby, the closest man to him, but it will go the way of Chris Mother. 28.08, the fastest time. On the far side, Jack Sangster, 28.58. So half a second between first and second. Harry Puffett, 28.59, 100th ahead, or behind Jack Sangster over in lane 9. But Chris Mother, winner in heat number 13.
Ready for the next event in pool number 1, which is heat 14.
And on to heat 14. Just 2 to go in this event. Then we'll jump on to event 206. If you are just joining us, you're watching the men's stream. There is a separate women's stream available to you. Just search Speedo BUCS 2019 and you'll have access to both. I'm sure you've got male and female friends, family and teammates that you want to follow. But for now, let's concentrate on the men's heat number 14 in the 50 backstroke. I'm looking at lane number 0. I'm looking at Robert Pearson of York St John. On the far side, lane 9, Oscar Sulas of UCL is between the outside lanes. Or can anybody do anything in the middle? Could go lane 3. It doesn't. It does go Rob Pearson, 27.16. And Oscar Sulas, second place for so long, settles for third in 27.82. Because Matthew Raphael splits them, 27.81. More great swimming. And these outside lanes, there's something in the water.
Next in pool 1, heat 15.
And finally, we will get number 15 heat out of the way. And we move on. But taking part, Cameron Jones, Felix Haslam, Kieran Rutter, Sam Williams, Matthew Ferguson, Kyle Pate, Anthony Woodrow, Christopher Hooper, Adam Toy and Chris Lee. So final heat of this event, the very last chance to get into the finals. They need something around about 24, 25 seconds. It's a big ask, but the one's going for it. In lane number 6, Anthony Woodrow. In 3, Sam Williams. They're leading the way. Lane number 1, Felix Haslam coming back nicely, but it will go the way of lane number 3, Sam Williams, 26.56. Then comes Anthony Woodrow and Christopher Hooper. I don't think it's going to be enough to get to the final, but keep your eye on the BUCS website and the BUCS Play app for all your confirmation you need. The finals starting at 6 p.m, of course. But for now, we move on to event 206. And we're going to see the opening heats of the men's 50-metre breaststroke. We've already seen the fastest 3 heats. Again, just go back to the start of the channel or the start of the stream to watch those. But we're going to start with heat number 1 in that event. And there's going to be no less than 21 heats in total. So over 200 swimmers we're about to watch in the space of probably less than 10 minutes. So if you are waiting for somebody, don't blink, keep your eyes peeled. I will be reading out, of course, all the competitors in each heat.
In the men's pool. So next up, heat 1.
So heat 1, Llewellyn Wake, Cameron Bailey, Joseph McLean, Nathan Butterworth and Nathan Room.
Continuing with the backstroke in pool 2, heat 60.
And there's a good start from Joseph McLean of Bournemouth. He'll turn first, metre or so ahead of Nathan Room in 6. 1 lane inside, Nathan Butterworth, another half a length stroke back, in lane number 4. It will go the way of Joseph McLean this opening heat, 31.81 the time. Then Butterworth and Room in the alternate order, and Wake and Bailey round out heat number 1. 31.81, fastest time in heat number 1.
Ready to go with breaststroke heat 2 in pool 1.
Heat number 2, you're going to enjoy Oliver Shapcott, Jack Foran, Nayan Gilbo Way, Sam Wandsworth, Alistair McCrae, Nathiel Costigan, Alex O'Neill, Ben Martin, Chris Coleman and Matthew Holt. Nathaniel Costigan in the SB12 category.
For everyone inside the venue, please no flash photography.
And Matthew Holt was going out like an absolute bullet in lane number 9. A couple of lanes inside is Ben Martin in Southern. It's those two who are going to take the heat by some margin, very close between the rest of the pool. But in lane number 9, Matthew Holt winning time, 31.21 for him. The man from London. In lane 7, Ben Martin of Huddersfield, 35.62. And the rest of the field, not too much to separate them, just a couple of seconds between the entirety. But Matthew Holt, lane 9, 31.21, good enough to take the win in heat number 2. So again, you might just have a couple of delays. We've got 2 events going on, of course, the men's and the women's in separate pools, but they are next to each other. So to avoid any starting gun confusion, we might have to wait 30 seconds here or there to get the women's underway first of all, just depending on where we are with each heat. We're going to get heat number 3 underway shortly. And that is going to be Guy Proctor, Jake Doyle, Isaac Dunn, Thomas Sutton, Rion Sullivan, James Parrott, Lachlan Crombie, Alexander Bavej, Samuel Cook and Joseph Davies.
And in pool 2, we're ready for heat 18.
And Sam Wansworth of Bangor in lane number 4. Very quick short strokes. He led through the first 15 or so metres, but he won't reach the turn first. But he has had a good turn, hasn't he? My goodness, he gained half a metre on that turn. In lane number 1, Jake Doyle of Derby. I'm looking at lane number 7, Alexander Babbage. But in lane number 5, what a final 15 metres. In lane 5 for James Parrott of Kent. Wonderful swimming. Left it right to the death, 36.76. Enough for the win in heat number 3. Alexander Babbage was going very well and nicely. Finishes second, and Jake Doyle early leader, 37.46. They're your top 3 in heat number 3.
Pool 1 ready to go. This is 50 breaststroke, heat 4.
And on to heat number 4. We have David Pearman, Dennis Van Aggs, Adam Boss, Owen Thomas, Matthew Fitzgerald, Tom Bates, Cameron Brown, Jake Turner, Fraser Humphrey and Elliot Doughty. It's a good start in 3 from Owen Thomas.
The final heat of the women's 50 metre backstroke, heat 19.
Still got his nose out in front. Lane number 8, Fraser Humphrey of Chichester on the far side, leading the battle of the far side 3 lanes. But it will be Owen Thomas. His time is 35.05. 4 tenths back is Adam Boss. Cameron Brown another 5 tenths back. So 9 tenths separating Thomas, Boss and Brown. It's quite a fair distance over 50 metres. But Owen Thomas won't really care about the time too much because he takes the win in heat number 4.
Next in pool number 1, it's 50 metre breaststroke, heat 5.
Heat number 5, Matty Cheeseborough, Joseph Green, Daniel Jenkins, Oliver Luckman, Benjamin Bowman, Ben Allen, David Finnerty, Andrew Ferns, Ethan Kito and Peter Lever. Entry times now in the 37-second mark. So we have had plenty quicker than that. Lane 0, Matty Cheeseborough, gone off like a rocket on the near side. In lane number 8, Ethan Kito is not doing too badly whatsoever. Benjamin Bowman in 4 of Strathclyde, he's doing well, but can anybody catch Cheeseborough in 0? I don't think they can, because he's got half a metre advantage. If anybody can do it, it will be Benjamin Bowman. I don't think he's got the 10 metres in him. And it does go the way of Matty Cheeseborough at 34.6. In fact, Ethan Kito, he got second place, 36.02. Then came Benjamin Bowman. I apologise, Ethan, didn't see you on the far side there. 36.06, 0.04 of a second he beat Bowman by. But Matty Cheeseborough, 34.3, enough to take heat number 5.
Next in pool 1, heat 6.
Heat number 6. You're going to watch Ben Salmon, Ralph Gerard Cross, Ronan Payne, James Hook, Josh Lambert, Sam Ratcliffe, Adam Sales, Nikolai Webber, Jack Wilcott and Daniel Jones. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, you can use the chat box and I'll try and read out as many messages of encouragement to teammates, family and friends. Now look at this for a split pool, because in lane number 3, James Hook of Not Trent, and he's taken Ronan Payne with him. In lane number 7, Nikolai Webber, they're your top 3. Josh Lambert doing everything he can in lane number 4, but James Hook's going to take this one. He'll win the heat number 6 with a time of 32.39.
Picking up the victory for Not Trent.
7 tenths quicker than Ronan Payne, just to his side. He was a pacemaker for Payne, wasn't he? And then Nikolai Webber 33.57, so another 4 or 5 tenths back. So much more of a split pool than we've seen in earlier heats. And James Hook takes it at 32.39. And we're going to move shortly onto heat number 7, which will contain Alexander Kircher, Tom Hickling, Will Howard, Jan Ernst, Niall McRoberts, Sam Fletcher, Henry Blomfield, Justin Gay-Semenukov, Rahel Schrenzer and Jack Manning. And what a lovely message on the YouTube chat from Jane Cross. Good luck, Matt. Love from Mum. Wonderful. Thank you, Jane. And here in heat number 7, it's lane number 7 out in front. Justin Gay-Semenukov. Great swimming. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Niall McRoberts is going to do his best from Glasgow, as will Jack Manning of Liverpool on the far side. Lane 1 not out with this either, Alexander Kircher, but it does go the way of Justin Gay-Semenukov. 32.51 his time. And on this very near side, Alexander Kircher did do enough to take second place ahead of Niall McRoberts. Roberts was steaming down that last 15 or so metres, just left too much to do. And Semenukov, 32.51, takes heat 7.
Ready to go again in pool number 1. This is heat 8.
So heat number 8 underway. Jamie Whitefield, Oliver Hicks, Christian Ballas, Gonzalo Rivero, Mark Tottenham, Ewan Koska, Jacob Reeve, Ryan Whittington, George Williams and Cornelius Bumhata. Shannon on the YouTube chat shouting, "Go Ewan." Now, my name is Ewan Shannon. Are you shouting me, go commentator, or are you shouting, "Go Ewan Koska"? I'm not too sure. I'm going to assume it's Koska. And in lane number 1, Oliver Hicks takes heat number 8. Koska, he'll finish 5th in lane number 5. Second place, Ryan Whittington, 33.85. In the top 3, George Williams, also 34.18. But Oliver Hicks, 33.10. He'll take heat number 8. So 21 heats in total in this event we've got coming. We're almost, well, we're at heat number 9, so we're almost halfway there.
And Lauren Averill of Bradford is the winner in heat 3. Joyce Chan, second place. Katie Freer in 3rd. Ready to go in pool 1, heat 9.
Heat 9 then. Luke Fay, Theo Tyndall, James Hartley, Nathaniel Birch, Edward Parry, Luke Edge, Al-Hassan Zaid, Aidan Wright, Oliver Ross and Jake Brassington. So wonderful start in lane 1 from Theo Tyndall of Plymouth. He'll turn with a metre or so advantage. And that's a fair bit in 25 metres. Lanes 7 and 8, Aidan Wright and Oliver Ross. So trying to concentrate on both sides of the pool in one. But Theo Tyndall, I don't think anybody going to catch him. Aidan Wright doing his best, the man from Coventry. but it's 31.96 for Tyndall, then Wright 32.97, Oliver Ross 34.26. So both sides of the pool involved. Theo Tyndall takes it on this near side, then Wright, Ross and Brassington round out the top four on the far side lanes.
Once again, take this opportunity.
On the YouTube chat, Seren says, go Callum Black. And Scarlett Price, good luck Jacob Baker, lots of love from your cousin Scarlett. And 3 kisses as well, and JJ as well. So 2 wishes of luck and 3 kisses, surely enough to get you a top 3 in the heat. So into double figures, onto heat number 10. Got Ben Fryer, Jack Huddart, Jack Rowe, Lewis Condé, Samuel Jones, Isa Dunford, Cameron Simpson, Jacob Mason, Laith Al Farouk and Sam Ingham.
Next in pool 2, heat 4.
Jack Huddart of Liverpool in 1, racing Cameron Simpson of Northampton in 6. Here comes Samuel Jones in 4, as is Isa Dunford of Bangor in 5. This will be close as we get to the line. Lane number 6 is going to take it. It is Cameron Simpson, 31.64. Early leader Jack Huddart, 32.11, settles for second place. And then you had that battle in the middle, didn't we? Samuel Jones winning it against Isa Dunford. That's entertaining. I like those heats.
Next is pool 1, heat 11.
So Seren, you've got long to wait on YouTube. Of course, Callum's coming up in heat number 12. Heat number 11 first though. Michael Dorsman, Antoine Salidre, Niall Taylor, Aaron Gilson, Henry Butler, Joe Thorpe, Harry Isaac Hendrick, Will Brower, Josh Maitland and Edward Burrows. So Johnny T, very much involved in this race, chasing Neil in lane 2. We're watching love Mum, Neve and Nan. The whole family's watching. And in lane number 1 and lane number 7, Antoine Salidre and Will Bauer, they're going to take the top 2 spaces. Antoine Salidre, in fact, got 3rd place, 31.51. Winning time was Will Bowler, 30.78. Then Harry Isaac Hendrick. Sorry, a little bit different. Well, 100ths different. In fact, it looked close in the pool. It was close. It was 100 separating Hendrick and Claderi. But Will Bowler, 30.78. And we're on to heat number 12. And we have, in heat 12, Segan Golden-Conan, Nick Sims, Connor Sharples, Jamie Rogers, Ben Tritton, Miguel Armstrong, Tom Parker, Lawrence Beeling, Callum Black with our home support on YouTube, and Owen Lawton in 9.
They're coming home and in lane 2, Amber Gibbs of Aston. Put herself in pole position.
So Mum and Dad are watching you, Callum, as well on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it later with them. It's all recorded and available afterwards. In lanes 4 and 5, Ben Tritton and Miguel Armstrong. In 1, Nick Sims. And in 0 as well, 7 Golden-Conan. Very close between those. It's got to 7 Golden-Conan, 37.43. Then come Tritton and Armstrong in 31.05 and 11 respectively. 600 separating in the middle too. It looked close, but my goodness, what a final 15 from Segiv Golden-Conan. 30.43, good enough to take heat number 12.
Next in pool 1, heat 13.
So on to heat number 13. From the near side, Jamie McCaffrey, Tom John, Matt Cross, George Stenning, Jamie Murray, Harry Furnish, Ewan Chan, Joseph Dowling, William Strachan and Michael Doyle. And away we go. Good start from lane 2, Matt Cross of Leeds. In 0, Jamie McCaffrey, Manchester Metropolitan. In 5, Harry Furnish, Lincoln. They were the top 3 to the turn. Very close from 3rd onwards. He's not close in lane number 2 though, because Matt Cross of Leeds, he's only got 5 metres to make up and he's got 1 metre advantage. He'll take this. What's the time going to be for Matt Cross? It is 30 seconds on the button. Then Harry Furnish 8/10 back. Ewan Chan 31.22, 42 hundredths away. But Matt Cross, fantastic swimming, 30 on the button. And have to take heat number 13, lucky for some.
Oh, cool too. You're wrecking the joint. Come on.
Just go back to one message online from Martin Koska. It was a shout out to Ewan Koska in heat 8 for his first ever BUCS meet in his first year at York University. So congratulations, Ewan. Plenty more events and races and championships to come, I've no doubt whatsoever.
So next up we have
heat number 14 then, Keenan Napper, Shay Elliott, Ollie Pyle, Charlie Madden, Angus Waugh, Thomas Toland, Daniel Jones, Jack Edwards, Tobias Brown and Phelan McNally. So no big advantage to the first 25 in heat number 14. Good turn from Angus Waugh of St Andrews in 4. Over in Southern, Jack Edwards, Sheffield Hallam, home student. And just pulling away slightly now, those two into the final 5 metres. Is it going to be Angus Waugh? It will be 31.62 over Charlie Madden's 32.14. Then comes Jack Edwards, couple of tenths back. But Angus Waugh very close to the first 25, then he just pulled away by about a metre or so over the final 15. Confident swimming from Angus Waugh, 31.62, winning time heat 14.
Off that heat number 6 in the women's 50-metre breaststroke.
And a good luck message online from Neve to well done Niall, brilliant swim just outside your PB.
This is heat 15.
So many of these swimmers we see in so many events over the course of a championship weekend, can be taking part in 4, 5 plus races. So plenty of chances for PBs and medals and points for your university as well. Don't forget heat number 15. Chunghwa Philip Wong in 0, Swale Talib, Devin Kellett, Manson Mack, Sheenan Al-Ghafari, Josh Patel, Don Bissett, Seb Williams, Chris Muir and Tom Arkle.
Thank you for such a quick response as well, much appreciated.
And this time we do have a leader through 25. It is Manson Mack of King's College in lane number 3. Taking heat number 15 by the scruff of the neck. Don Bissett in 6 doing everything he can, but he won't be able to catch him because it's a 30.1, over a second quicker than Bissett in lane number 6. And on the far side, Tom Arkle, 31.61. Still chasing those times under 30 seconds, aren't we? They're going to come, I'm sure.
East Anglia in 3rd, they're in lane 9, 31.613.
Let's go, Gorman!
Next up in pool 1, heat 60.
Let's go, Gorman! Different gravy!
Heat number 16. Jacob Baker, he had some support online, didn't he? Lewis Smart, Callum Gorman, Josh Wilson, Ross Hunter, Iga Genki Zumanechov, Niall Kush, Matthew Gray, Lorenzo Lamagnazime and Ryan Lamprell. Niall Kush hasn't swum for 4 years apparently, so best of luck to him. He goes in lane 6. But look at lane number 1 go, Lewis Smart of Northampton. Fantastic swimming again. Lane 5 closest to him, that's Igor Zunichov. And he does go Lewis Smart, 30.73. Ryan Lamprell on the far side, lane 9, 31.15. Then we come right back over to this side. Jacob Baker takes 3rd place in heat number 16. No doubt heard that congratulatory and good luck message on the online channel. On to heat number 17. Alan Sumpton, Martin Cartow, George Davies, Robin Turner, Robin Boyden, Danny Pirrett, Gabriel Conge, Constantin Capadande, Cathal Burns and Ben Lewis.
And now in pool number 1, heat 17. Danny Brazier gets the winner there in the Reed Swam Heat 6, and Anna Shepherd picking up 2nd place. Isabel Harrison.
Martin Carter of Glasgow, quickest first 25, and look at that, you could draw a ruler line across the rest of the pool because they cannot be separated at all. Robin Turner maybe just coming through in the final 10 metres. Could he take it away from Cartu? He will indeed. It's actually gone to Gabriel Conge, 31.26 from lane number 6. Where did he come from? Then comes Martin Carto, 31.29. Robin Turner, I thought Turner was going to get the win in that one. He's 700ths back of 2nd place. Great swimming, great final 10 metres then from Gabriel Conge, 31.26 in lane number 6. And there's been a lot of support online for Callum Gorman. So apologies, just missed that. We were about 30 seconds ahead of you, I think. So get your messages in as soon as possible. We'll try and read them out whilst those swimmers are in their heats, of course. And we move on to heat number 18. Got Alexander Florence, Charlie Waddingham, Leon Wicks, Ben Lawton, Maxim DeVilt, Thomas Cannon, Chris Wong, Nicholas Lim, Max Tidmarsh and Jez Knuckles.
Siobhan Sinclair Strong in 2nd, Abby Macbeth in 3rd. So let's go back to pool number 1 where it's time for heat 18. And in pool 2,
so heat 18, we're now into the entry times just above 30 seconds. In lane 1, Charlie Waddington of Stirling, he's out in front with Chris Wong of Surrey. Jez Knuckles of Surrey, his teammate on the far side as well. Who takes it? Does go the way of Wong, 30.24. Then Knuckles in 9, 30.27. So not a lot separating those two, just 300ths. And Charlie Waddington just take 3rd, 30.31. So what's that? It is 700ths separating the top 3.
Chris Wong picks up the W in pool 1. Jez Knuckles in behind him. Charlie Waddington makes up the top 3. Surrey, Stirling in heat 18. In heat 8 in the women's pool, coming through to the conclusion there. with Rian Jones.
We'll move on to heat number 19. We've got Matt Law, William Loveman, Rio Quarry, Matthew Martin, Joe Stott, Adam Zavalis, Alan Chu. Plenty of support online from Alan Chu. Stephen Stanley, Jamie Kettle and Jonathan Quinn.
Next in pool 1, heat 19.
So online, David Miller, Bruno, plenty of others. Support for Alan Chu Chu Chu. A hero for some, it seems. Let's see how we can do. Can Chu in lane number 6.
Next in pool 2, heat 9.
So tight indeed. Lane number 9, Jonathan Quinn of Aberdeen. Up there with Joe Stott of Leeds. Very tight indeed. So no strong leader. If there is one, it is Jonathan Quinn of Aberdeen in 9. Metre or so advantage over the rest of the pool. Then they can't really be separated. Just keep your eye on the scoreboards and the times. I can't call it. It will go to Jonathan Quinn, number 1. He takes it in 29.45. Alan Chu, second place. There we go, 30.39. He heard all those messages of support. He's pulled it out the bag, taken second place. Third place will go to Jamie Kettle in 30.51. But one of our first few times under 30 seconds. Aberdeen's Jonathan Quinn in lane number 9, but plenty of happy faces online with Chu in 6.
Anna Pearce of Huddersfield in lane 7. Coming through strongly, Alia Byron of Exeter in there in the middle. Fantastic final, 25 metres from her. Certainly favourite going into the final few strokes. And she takes it, Byron Pearce to Pleshbar.
On to heat number 20. Just one more to go after this one. We have Timur Gulyayan, Thomas Grieve, Benjamin Simpson, Etienne Tillen, Ali Bouabbas, Jack Flyer, Chaihan Su, Finlay Ryan, Timur Aydin and Sandy Forsiak.
Now in pool 2, this is 50 metre breaststroke, heat 10.
So as we go through these heats, they do get tighter and tighter, don't they? Not much to call whatsoever in heat number 20 at the 25 metre mark. I've got my eyes on Thomas Grieve in lane number 1 in 4, 5, 6 and 7. You've got Boaz, Flyer, Sue and Ryan. And in fact, in lane number 7, it will go the way of Finlay Ryan. Great last 10 metres, 29.68. That's another time under 30 seconds. Joined by Ali Boabas, 29.97. 2 men under the half-minute mark. Then comes Jack Filer, 30.27. They're your top 3. Coming up, our final heat of the 50 metre breaststroke. This is heat 21. There's 24 heats in total. We've already seen the fastest 3. And this is the best of the rest in heat 21. Joshua Pemberton, Cameron Manley, Matthew Curtis, George Barnes, Mark Stoops, Ross Young, Benjamin Arkle, Andrew McIntosh, David Shipman and Charlie Rayner. Joshua Pemberton of Derby, he'll turn first with David Shipman of Birmingham in 8. In 5, Ross Young of Edinburgh. They're your top 3 in heat 21. 15 metres to go. Can anybody pull away? Looks like Ross Young might be able to, but Edinburgh, and keep your eye on lane 0 as well. Joshua Pemberton of Derby, they're your top 2. Does go to Ross Young, 28.72, one of the best heat times we've seen so far. Just outside him, Pemberton in lane 0. Then third place, David Shipman on the far side. All those 3 chaps under 29 seconds and deservedly your top 3 in heat 21.
In pool number 1, we move on to the men's 100 butterfly.
So we are back now to event 208. This is the men's 100-metre butterfly. If you're just joining us, I say back because we've already had the fastest 3 heats in this event. Now it's time for the remaining 14 heats.
I did take ibuprofen before, so we'll see how it is tonight.
The whole online stream is available continuously, so even once it's finished you can go back and watch it from the start again if you want, or rewind to find a swimmer that you think you might have missed. And here's heat 1. You've got Edmund Spink of Derby in 3, Ewan McCavitt of Leeds Beckett in 4, Daniel Wilson of Salford in 5, and Aaron Smith, University West of England in 6.
These are Ellie's, right? Can I have like 2? Thank you, Anna. You're what?
So great swimming from Smith of University West of England. Not hanging around whatsoever through 75. Work to be done by Ewan McCavitt, Edmund Spink and Daniel Wilson. But very confident strokes to the finish line for Aaron Smith, 57.9. I'm sure he'll be happy with that time.
Aaron Smith, followed by
That would have been enough to see him, in fact, into heat number 11. That would have been an entry time.
Gigi Slater of Glasgow is the winner of heat 12. Alex Potts in second from Leeds Beckett, and Kim and Sander of Imperial picks up 2.
On to heat number 2, we got James Morris of Hull in 0, Nikolai Webber, Oxford Brooks in 2, Matteo Resavio of Bradford in 2, Sam Alsop of Bangor in 3, Tom Piggott of Swansea in the S10 category in 4, Charlie Eshelby of York in 5, Michael Taylor of Aberystwyth in 6, Aaron Gilson Stirling in 7, Oludese Adefaisan of Nottingham in the S9 category in 8, and Harry Wood of Aston in 9. And as they dive in, Lucy Hall says, go Harry Wood on the online chat. Heat number 2, the butterfly. So she is going to be concentrating on lane number 9. And in fact, she won't be, because Harry Wood has not joined us for the heat. So sorry, Lucy, I have to give him a call. For heat, lane number 5, Charlie Eshelby of York leads the way through halfway. In 2, Matteo Resavio of Bradford. And in 7, Aaron Gilson of Stirling. But already with 25 to go, it doesn't look as though Charlie Eshelby can be caught in this one. If anybody can, it's going to be between lanes 2, 3 and 4. That is Matteo Resavio, Sam Alsop and Tom Piggott. So we've already seen one time under the minute mark. Not going to be so in heat number 2, but it's going to be enough for Charlie Eshelby, a 103.20 to take the win in heat number 2. Tom Piggott 105.09 and Sam Alsop 107.13. They're your top 3 in heat number 2. And just finishing things off with Oludese Adefaisan 116.42 in lane number 8.
Pool 2 ready to go. Women's 50-metre breaststroke, heat 14.
On to heat number 3, Timothy Moores of Imperial in lane 0, Thomas King of Warwick in 1, John Talensky of UCL in 2, To Auzian of St George's in 3, Alex Bandarian of Brunel in 4, Shaheen Al-Ghafari of King's College in 5, John Law of Stirling swimming in the S13 category in 6, Achan Rakebli of Surrey in 7, Jordan Barnes Sheffield in 8, and Jamie Hamilton Stirling in 9. Fastest on paper is Alex Banderian, 104.83.
She takes that heat. Daisy Nevin second, Laura Harrison third.
And it's Alex Banderian and Shaheen Al-Ghafari in 4 and 5. Up there with Chon Telensky. So there's clearly a front four with a body length advantage over the rest of the field. So it's less than 2/10 separating those top four. But here comes Ayhan Rakelbi of Surrey in Southern. He's trying to pull this through, put every single effort and sinew into the last 5 metres. He takes it as well in a 1:01 on the spot. John Telensky, 1:02.16 is for second, and Shaheen Al-Ghafari. So 3 times there in the 1:02s. Only 2 of them good enough for the top 3. As Ayhan Rakelbi, 1:01, takes the first spot in heat number 3.
Heat 15 of the women's 50 breaststroke is in pool 2. Ready to go in pool number 1 with 100 butterfly heat 4.
So heat number 4, Nathan Jones of Lincoln. Leo Surawade of Salford in 1, Alexander Florence East Anglia in 2, Thomas Coste Imperial in 3, Nick Dupiazzi Aberdeen in 4, Harry Robinson of Warwick in 5, Ryan Mogford of Exeter in 6, Martin Monaghan Strathclyde in 7, Kelly Hode of Stirling in 8, and his teammate Ollie Cantor of Stirling in 9 in the S10 category. So Coste leading the way through 50 metres, 27.92.
Next in pool 2.
Then it was Surawade and Robinson and Jones, Romford, they're all around about 1.5 seconds. And those 3 turn together, don't they? Lane number 3, Thomas Coste. In 5, Harry Robinson. And in 1, Leo Surawade. It will be those 3 contesting for the top 3. Here in heat number 4, looks like it's going to go the way of Harry Robinson. Does indeed, 1 minute, 0.8 seconds. Thomas Coste, 23 hundredths back, and then Leo Surawade, another 3 hundredths to third spot in lane number 1. So just 1 time so far from our first 4 heats under the minute mark. That came from Aaron Smith in heat number 1, in fact, University West of England. Still plenty of heats to go. We're going to see 14 in total. So 10 to go before we have our first break of the day. The next session starts between 1:30 and 2 o'clock to be confirmed. But our final session, 6 p.m. onwards, that's when all of our medals and points are won and distributed. That is the action time. So let's go heat number 5 from this near side. Cole Cornford of Cardiff, Ethan Barnes, Sheffield Hallam, Isaac Aiden of Southampton, Ben Perkins, Brunel, Tasuga Inaba of Sheffield, Ross Hunter of Imperial, Jacob Robson of Liverpool, James Hose, East Anglia, Charlie Manning of Kiel, and Dan Eccles of Dundee. So Gaidan leads through 50, under 28 seconds, 5 hundredths back to Robson, Perkins, Eccles, Barnes and Hunter all within a second. So Gaidan and Robson, they're your top 2. Coming through now on the far side, Dan Eccles of Dundee. Can he grab that top 3 spot or even better? Nobody in the middle lane is going to catch 2 or 6. It will go to Jacob Robson, just takes it away from Aisha Gaydon. 1 minute, 0.89 seconds, 1:01.32 for Gaydon. And then as we saw on the far side, great second 50 for Dan Eccles, 1:01.81. That's your top three in heat number 5.
Now the penultimate heat in pool 2 of the 50 breaststroke, it's heat 80.
Heat number 6, here in the men's pool. James Anderson of Sheffield in 0, then Caleb Mackey of Portsmouth, Jacob Kachune of Plymouth, Lewis Conde of Stirling, Alex Zalaf of York, Sean Curley Oxford Brookes, Christopher Harbour Southampton, Billy Martin Portsmouth, Will Deeming Liverpool, and Fernando Azizo Ocampo of Southampton in 9.
Next in pool 1, it's 100 butterfly, heat 6.
Off they go, entry times all in the 1:02 bracket. We're going to see our third time under 1 minute. Lewis Conde started well, the man from Stirling, as has Billy Martin of Portsmouth in 7. They're going to be your first two to turn. Then comes Campo and Kachune, they're within 1 second. Zalaf, Harbour and Curley, a little bit of work to do already in the second 50. It's your same 3 up top. In lane 2, Jacob Kachune doing everything he can to come back into that top 3 spot. In lane number 7, Billy Martin of Portsmouth, he now's got his noses out in front. Ahead of Caleb Mackey and Lewis Conde. He'll take the win in heat number 6, 59.36. There's our third time under 1 minute. Well done, Billy Martin. Then Caleb Mackey and Lewis Conde, 1600s and 5600s respectively, outside the minute mark. But that does look nice, doesn't it? Billy Martin, only man under 1 minute.
In second, Lewis Conde in third. Next in pool 1, it's men's butterfly heat 7.
Heat number 7, from this near side, Morgan Davies of Gloucestershire, Conor Lowry of Portsmouth, that's a bit of a drive, isn't it? Thomas Sivek of Plymouth, that's even further. Harry Manship of Nottingham, Patrick Keaveney of Bristol, Yunshang Zheng of London, Ryan Ferguson, Edinburgh, Sam Woodard, Canterbury, Aidan Berry of Glasgow and Scott Goby of Edinburgh make up your 10 swimmers in this one. It is in fact that final man mentioned, Scott Goby of Edinburgh. He's going to lead through 50. In 4 and 5, Patrick Keaveney and Yusak Zheng. And you're going to make up your top 3. Because they're the only 2 within a second. Then it's a bit of a gap, isn't it, back to the rest of the field after those top 3. Can they maintain that? Have they gone out too quick? Have the rest left something in the tank that the others haven't? It's still going to be Goby of Edinburgh in 9. Body length advantage now over Yushang Zheng in 5. And under pressure is Patrick Keaveney of Bristol, because the rest of the field are coming back. But in 9, Goby takes it 55.51. What a time! 57.63 for Zhang. And that's more like it the minute what we expected. Patrick Keaveney, he's the 3rd place swimmer in heat number 7. But 55.51 at the top there. Scott Goby and top of the pile as well.
100-metre butterfly. This is heat number 1.
Heat number 8. you are going to see from the near side Max Tidmarsh of Newcastle, Luke Bryan of Sheffield Hallam, William Carter of Birmingham, Tom Moffat of Bath, Alexander Song of Cambridge, Ben Reid of St Andrews, Bradley Veitch of Leeds, Campbell Wilford of St Andrews, Samuel Bryan of Hull and Ross Leslie of Edinburgh. So as we know, these championships headline partner are Speedo. If you are looking to purchase some new swimming apparel, a new swimsuit, hat or goggles, Speedo are offering all BUCS competitors a whopping 20% discount across the entire range. Just head online to speedo.com/UK and use the code BUCS20, so that's BUCS20, to get your gear for less. Remember, across all social channels this weekend, use the hashtag SpeedoBucks to get involved and join the conversation. Lane 9 again, this time Ross Leslie of Edinburgh. On the near side, Luke Bryan, Sheffield Hallam, hometown swimmer in 27.04. But that is an incredible time to halfway, 25.85. And he is leading this heat comfortably in heat number 9. Second win in a row, possibly coming from this heat. Can't see him being beaten now, even by lane number 1, Luke Bryan, who's in a comfortable second place. But cracking swimming, it's all about the time really. Can he beat the 55-second mark set by Scott Goby? He can indeed. 55.04 for Ross Leslie. It was in fact his teammate in heat number 7 of Edinburgh, Scott Goby, that got the 55+ second mark. Ross Leslie, well, they're going to have a little chat in the changing room, aren't they? Because he's beaten his time in heat lane number 9 again, this time in heat number 8.
Pool 2 is ready to go. This is heat number 2.
So heat number 9, here we go from the near side. Ben Gilchrist of Northumbria, Tom Smith of Sheffield Hallam, 21 yesterday. Have a great swim, Nick Smith says online. In 2, Ruslan Gulabs of Sheffield Hallam. 3, Chris Mother of Notts Trent. In 4, Audran Mallon of Newcastle. In 5, Mark Muse, Harriet Watt. In 6, Segan Gonan Cohen of Cambridge. In 7, John Parkins of Warwick. 8, Brendan Johnson of Aberdeen. And in 9, Matthew Evans of Manchester Metropolitan. Entry times from here on in, heat 9 onwards, are going to start going under the minute mark. Not quite as low as 55 seconds though from Scott Goby and Ross Leslie in heats 7 and 8. What can we see here in heat number 9? So for the third heat in a row, leader comes from lane number 9 through 25 metres at least. In 2, Ruslan Gulabs of Sheffield Hallam. He's up there with Segev Goen Cohen. In 5, they're your top 3 at halfway stage.
Over in pool 2, Russia Mondal, King's College.
So with 25 to go, you've still got Ruslan Gulabs, Mark Muse and Matthew Evans.
Over here in pool number 1, Mark Muse and Harriet.
And it's going to come down to lane number 5, isn't it? Mark Muse 57.3 is going to take first spot. Second is Matthew Evans on the far side, 58.03. And the third man under a minute is Ruslan Gulabs. So our top 3 throughout the entire 200 and cracking times to boot as well. Birthday boy Tom Smith just outside the minute mark, 6th place in lane number 1.
Pool 2 are ready to go. This is heat 3.
Heat number 10. 5 to go after this one. You've got Dan Wheeler of Leeds Beckett, Kane Nurse of Plymouth, Thomas Boyd Northampton, Finley Hart of Glasgow, Ollie Perry of York, Adam Poole of Lincoln, Adam Blackshaw, Sheffield Hallam, Sam Lawton of Bath, Leo Wills Plymouth and Dion Cadrio Stirling. So every entry time now under 1 minute. We've not had a heat yet, of course, with every time under 1 minute. This is our best chart so far. And lane 2, Thomas Boyd Northampton. Doing very well to halfway. Not as good as Lawton though, 1900ths to the good. Then Blackshaw outside is second and Nurse, Cadrio, Wheeler and Hart. So good battle here on between Thomas Boyd and Sam Lawton. One from Northampton and Lawton from Bath. Behind those top two in lane number 6, Adam Blackshaw, Sheffield Hallam, doing his best to hold off Ollie Perry, but the win in the heat will go to Sam Lawton, 58.59. 3 men again under 1 minute, because he is joined by Thomas Boyd in 59.1 and Adam Blackshaw 100th inside the minute mark, cutting it very fine indeed, and that is third place in heat number 10. On to heat 11 of 14. George Rank Griffith of Exeter in 0, Zebedee Wakely of Leeds in 1, Miles Clark of Oxford in 2, Jacob Cook of Cardiff Metropolitan in 3, Ewan Cohen Nottingham 4, Jacob Ward Bristol in 5, Daniel Lesnin of Cardiff in 6, Declan Pang Oxford in 7, AJ Wood Salford in 8 and Sean Quinn of Liverpool in 9.
Can we have a representative from Plymouth and a representative from Stirling?
Away we go, heat number 11.
Please, someone from Plymouth, someone from Stirling.
Entry times dipping into the 58s now.
Thank you.
Previous 2 heats, 3 swimmers in each under 1 minute. I'll tell you what, Ewan Cowan of Nottingham going very well indeed. Far side, so is Sean Quinn of Liverpool. Clark and Ward also in that top 4. Rag Griffith, 4th man or 5th under 1 minute, or 4th within 1 second, of Cowan. But it is a wonderful swim from Ewan Cowan in the green cap of Nottingham in lane number 4. 5 swimmers very close behind him. That includes Zebedee Wakely, Miles Clark, Jacob Ward, and then 8 and 9 AJ Wood and Sean Quinn. But he's not going to get caught. In lane number 4, Ewan Cowan, 56.37, one of the best times we've seen so far in these earlier set of heats. Second place will go to his right-hand side, Jacob Ward, 58.27. 5 men in total, 6 in fact under the minute mark. The third best of which is Zebedee Wakely, 58.43. Heat number 12 of 14 before we get our first break. Robin Boyden of Bournemouth in 0. Then comes Chris Lee of Bath, Joseph Bradford Sheffield, Aidan Carroll of Plymouth, Philip Haslam of Warwick, Regan Howard representing Plymouth, Andreas Avram of Southampton, William Graham of York, Callum Raymond of Plymouth and Adam Reed representing the University of Bath in lane number 9. .06, Warwick's Felix Haslam, fastest on paper. He of course goes in lane number 4. And this is the closest heat we've seen for at least the last half dozen. Adam Reed of Bath on the far side in 9. He will turn first at halfway. Half a second ahead of Avram, Carroll and Graham. but 8 in total within a second of him. Just Mohammed with a little bit of work to do. And just now 25 metres to do that work in. Andreas Avram, he is fighting with Callum Raymond and Adam Reed. It's 3 of the far 4 lanes. In fact, all 4 are involved now on this near side lanes. 1 and 3, Chris Lee and Aidan Carroll very much involved. Who's going to get there first? It'll be very close to it is Andreas Avram, 58.12. Every single swimmer under 1 minute. Second fastest is Aidan Carroll, 58.21. And 200s just behind him, William Graham in lane number 7.
Yeah, I don't see any flying.
Next in pool 2, heat 6.
On to heat number 13, penultimate heat of the session. In 0 from this near side, Theo Cannon of Cambridge, Jake Thomas Mansfield of Birmingham, Ben Bradshaw Bath, David Broadbent Sheffield Hallam, Tony Joe Tret Oliver of Stirling, Owen Richards of Swansea, Ben Martin of Stirling, Jean-Paul Balaquet of Bath, Ian Fletcher Durham and Joe Watt of UWS. There are your swimmers in your penultimate heat, and there they are on the screen for you. So nice message of support from Dan Flint. Come on John Paul, the whole of Bath is backing you. He goes in lane number 7. Entry time 57.7. 2/10 better than that was Tony Joe Tret Oliver, 57.4 of Stirling in 4. He's the fastest on paper. Not too many wins coming from those fastest lanes though, have there? The outside lanes have been cracking, and they've started again this way. Lane 0, Theo Cannon of Cambridge, he'll be quickest to 25. In lane number 8, Ian Fletcher of Durham is up there with him. Then we go to lane number 4, Tony Joe Tret Oliver. Halfway leader is Cannon, then Fletcher and Oliver. They're your top 3. Only 3 within a second, quite rare that. Then's Martin, then's Balaquet, Broadbent and Watt. So a little bit of catching up to do, and there's only 25 metres to do it. And Theo Cannon of Cambridge still leading the way. Very, very close between him, Tony Joe Tret Oliver in 4 and Ian Fletcher in 8. They'll be your top 3. Jake Thomas Mansfield doing everything he can to get back into it. It's not going to be enough because Theo Cannon takes it 56 seconds. Then Tony Joe Tret Oliver 56.67. And then Ian Fletcher 57.03. One more heat to go before you can all have a little break. Because it's heat number 14 and your final 10 swimmers to watch in this opening session on the men's stream at least. The women's is still going on. You've got Harry Jones of East Anglia, Julian Maraboto of Surrey, Jamie O'Connor Portsmouth, Brodie Hewison of Stirling, William Jagger of Bradford, Chris Muir Glasgow, Carl Smith Lancaster, James Allison of Aberdeen, Harry Whiteman of Manchester Metropolitan and Andrew Rain of Nottingham Trent. So tight to 25, the centre 3 lanes 4, 5 and 6. Out in front, William Jagger, Chris Muir and Carl Smith. On the far side, Andrew Rain. He's in that top 4. Best of the rest. I mean, it's only half a metre behind Carl Smith, isn't he, in 6. But we do have a leading 2 looking strong as well. William Jagger and Chris Muir. They reach the halfway mark in 25.67 and 0.83 respectively, and they're going to be leading the way into the final 5 metres. Carl Smith doing everything he can from Lancaster, as is Andrew Rain. But in lane 5, it will go the way of Kismure, 55.6. William Jagger, 48 hundredths back in lane number 4, 57.08, and then Carl Smith. So for once in these seats, we do have the centre lanes leading the way, because it's Muir, Jagger and Smith, 1, 2, 3. And 55.6 your leading time in heat number 14, and that does round out the men's side of things for session number 1 here on day 2. Session 2 officially, of course, because we had one session last night with a couple of medals and points given out. The women's event is still going on in the South Pool, so switch channels if you want to watch a bit of that as well. Otherwise, we will start again between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. 1:30 is the time on paper. It depends, of course, on when this session finishes completely. But join us at 1:30. We'll be getting underway shortly after that for session number 3. Again, we've got more heats to come. We're going to start with the fastest 3 heats in each event, then do the remaining heats exactly as we have done in this session, and then 6 p.m. onwards, session 4, the final session of the day. That is going to be when we're going to enjoy our finals. So you've been watching the Speedo and BUCS Swimming Series, 3 events in total making up this one. This, of course, is the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships with our partners Speedo, Bright Network and Camp America. We'll be back shortly. Stick around, go and get something to eat and drink. We're going to be back live with you from 1:30.
Kate Allenby, Kaylee Kelly and Molly Ollington take 1, 2 and 3. The action pool 1 for this session has concluded. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our officials for the wonderful work they've done. Enjoy your lunch, officials. You're relieved of your duties, and we'll see you back for session 2. Next, in pool number 2, it's the final heat of the women's 100 butterfly, heat number 9.